In the crowded, dusty lanes of a bustling Indian city, 12-year-old Ravi weaved through traffic and shouting vendors, balancing a tin tray piled with hot kakoris. These golden, crispy snacks were his only means of helping his sick father and caring for his little sister. After school, while other children played, Ravi sold kakoris on the streets with a tired smile and hopeful voice, hot kachori. Just 1 rupee. The aroma was mouth-watering, but Ravi hadn't tasted one in days. Hunger gnawed at his stomach, yet he never let it show. Despite his empty belly, Ravi's heart was full. He often gave kakoris to beggars and hungry children who couldn't pay, saying gently, "Eat first. Pay never." For him, kindness mattered more than money. He believed that no one should go to bed hungry, not even if he himself did. One rainy evening, an unnoticed act of generosity changed everything. A wealthy man, moved by Ravi's compassion, offered to help him and his family. Years later, Ravi paid it forward by opening his own food stalls, serving the poor for free. His story reminds us that even in the darkest corners of struggle, a small act of selflessness can light the way for many. One rainy evening, the city streets were nearly empty. Ravi stood under his worn plastic sheet, trying to shield his kakoris from the drizzle. Business had been painfully slow, and his stomach grumbled with disappointment. Just as he was about to pack up and return home empty-handed, he noticed a small girl across the street. She wore clothes soaked and torn, her bare feet muddy, and her eyes locked onto the kakoris with silent desperation. She didn't speak. She didn't move. But Ravi could feel her hunger. Without thinking twice, he picked up a warm kachori and walked over to her. "Eat first. Pay never," he said softly, placing it in her trembling hands. The girl's eyes widened in surprise before she devoured it with gratitude. What Ravi didn't see was the man watching from across the street. A well-dressed stranger stood under an awning, shielded from the rain. He was a successful food entrepreneur, stranded momentarily by the storm and drawn to Ravi's simple act of kindness. In that moment, the man saw something rare, a boy with nothing giving everything he had. And silently, he made a decision that would soon change Ravi's life forever. The rain had stopped, but a new day brought a different kind of storm, one of surprise and hope. As Ravi laid out his kakoris the next morning, the man in the suit returned. His polished shoes and confident stride stood out among the morning rush. He stopped in front of Ravi, smiled warmly, and said, "That was the kindest thing I've seen in a long time." Ravi blinked, confused. The man handed him a small card with an address. "Come here tomorrow. I want to help you." Ravi clutched the card, unsure if it was real. The next morning, with trembling hands and a pounding heart, he arrived at the large, beautiful building. It felt like another world, clean, quiet, full of possibility. Inside, the man welcomed him like family. He offered Ravi's family a place to stay, fresh meals, and most importantly, enrolled Ravi in a good school. "One who gives when he has nothing," the man said, placing a gentle hand on his shoulder, "deserves everything." For the first time in his young life, Ravi felt seen not as a poor kachori seller, but as a boy with a future. His quiet act of kindness had opened the door to a new life. Years passed, and Ravi's life transformed. With the support he once received, he studied hard, worked with passion, and never forgot where he came from. Now a young man, Ravi opened his own chain of snack stalls across the city. But they weren't just businesses, they were beacons of hope. Every stall served something special, a free hot meal each day for hungry children, no questions asked. Ravi trained his staff not just in cooking, but in compassion. One afternoon, a barefoot boy stood near his stall, eyes wide and stomach empty, just like that little girl all those years ago. Ravi smiled, gently handed him a fresh kachori, and said with the same warmth, "Eat first. Pay never." The boy's face lit up. In that simple, powerful moment, kindness came full circle. What began with a hungry child sharing all he had became a legacy of love that fed countless others. Ravi had once given with an empty hand, but a full heart. Now, he gave with both. Because real richness isn't measured by what we keep, but by what we give.